story is an integral part of most good video games, and the delivery of that story can make or break the quality of a game. Video games represent the most unusual type of storytelling possible: interactive. Being able to control story progression, whether it be through actual decision-making or just through how fast you play, is something that can't really be done in any other medium. This control can make pacing a game difficult, especially in non-linear open-world games. This brings up voice work, which more or less became a standard in games during the early millennium. The addition of voices to games made sense. After all, hearing a character speak can improve immersion dramatically. However, it also brings up a conflict of design between games and the pre-existing mediums they draw from. Unlike in books and movies where you can only passively watch events unfold, in games you are directly involved. The avatar you control in a game is your conduit, the method by which you interact with the game world. While it's universally agreed upon that all characters surrounding your avatar should have voices of their own to flesh them out, the character you control has never been required to have a single spoken line. This is the conundrum of the protagonist. Should the main character be a self-defined individual who is only controlled by the gamer, a la Commander Shepard from Mass Effect, or should the hero be a faceless, voiceless blank slate for the gamer to project onto, a la the hero of Kavach from Oblivion? Make no mistake, neither archetype is correct. Both are equally effective in games, and both have been used in all kinds of AAA titles. The question is, why is one chosen over the other? And moreover, how playing as a character that is half of both doesn't usually work very well. A good way to make this comparison is through a game series that was exponent for using a silent lead: Fable. Story and exposition aside, Fable was a game where you played as a destined hero who never spoke a word. Depending on perspective, this could be considered a good or bad thing. The end result, though, was a hero who you knew could talk because of things like simple expressions you could perform, "Hey," but inexplicably never said anything. The reason for the choice was clear, though. Fable was one of the first morally driven games giving you the choice to perform good or bad deeds. To this effect, the player character was left silent in an effort to let you project yourself onto him more easily. The largest problem, though, arose from being able to see the main character's face. Having a pre-designed visual representation to play as with no audible representation created a conflict. It's only natural to want to hear someone talk after you see their face. Being denied that, especially with a protagonist whose looks you can't control, can feel a bit like being forced to play a half-finished character. Having a silent protagonist isn't a bad design choice, it's just the way Fable implemented it was awkward. Luckily though, Fable made up for it by doing a lot of other things right, but I digress. The choice to have a silent lead with a face continued through Fable 2, but was finally reversed in Fable 3. Why was this done? Most likely because it strengthened the narrative of the game. By giving the main character a voice, more is explained to the player about who they are. Yes, you still make all the important decisions, and you still have all the options as in previous games, but when your character responds to questions and statements on their own that others make, the guesswork is taken out of why you're going along with another character's idea or plan.
We have to stop Logan.
How am I supposed to do that? Even if I am a hero, I'm just one person.
Exactly. That is why we need to find allies, and lots of them.
This is literally a difference of being told what you're doing and why, instead of just following a path without any personal motivation. The other reason for a voice is it lets you connect with the protagonist better. As already stated, a character who's left silent but with a face can make you feel like you're playing a half-finished entity. But with a voice included, you're given a whole persona and then told, this is you. That's a whole lot easier to accept, and moreover, you're not left wondering, who was this character before I came along? This is a lesson well learned. If the protagonist has a face, it's best to also have a voice and be told who you are. After all, persona replacement is much more effective than projecting onto a character that's only a half-blank slate. And Fable isn't the only game series to have learned this lesson. Grand Theft Auto 3 also had a silent lead, but the ever-mute Claude was replaced by the much more vocal and defined Tommy, Carl, and Nico in subsequent games. Then there are series like The Legend of Zelda, which has never used voices at all, and has also kept the main lead, Link, from speaking even through text. Of course, Zelda is a bit of a special case, since it's implied that Link does indeed speak, as characters frequently react to things he apparently tells them. And then there are games that truly define a good silent protagonist to a T, such as Fallout. Even though you can indeed speak in Fallout, not a single word ever escapes your lips. Instead, you're given text dialogue options to express yourself and converse with other characters. Furthermore, due to how the game is presented, there's never an instance in which your character will have a reaction that you don't control. To that extent, everything your avatar does is always 100% you. Thus, in games like Fallout, self-projection is at its best, because your character is entirely you, completely silent, but very vocal. The list goes on, but it all boils down to the fact that games tend to be better delivered when the protagonist is either well-defined or left as a completely blank slate. Granted, there are games like Fable which overcome the awkward nature of a visually defined character which simply doesn't talk, but those games are few and far between. Also, keep in mind that while story has an enormous bearing on the quality of a game, it has nothing to do with how well a game plays. That much is proven by the strong online gaming communities that exist today. And it's also the reason why games that feature a silent lead can still be very fun despite the lack of information about who you play as. By now, I'm certain that most of you have formulated your own opinions. No matter if your perspective contrasts mine or not, go ahead and hit the comments. Until next time, this has been a video blog by William Strife for B10g.net, August 15th, 2011.